The first two questions, like I said, are hat-based, which is great. I love talking about hats. I've been working on the crown again. I just finished. Oh, this is the V1.0. This is V2.0. I love two crowns. Nothing makes me happier than more of one of something. Yeah, I've been making lots of king hats. So the first question is, this person, Zane Hodgen Racing, says, I recently purchased a couple of thanks. I recently purchased a couple of nice hats, a Stetson Whippet and a fedora from Bates of London, and I've run into an issue storing them. Do you have a particular method for storing your hats in the closet at home? I'm not the best at storing my hats. I have a lot of active hats. I mean, I always genuinely have, like, hold on, I have this one. This is my tried and true baby. This is a Biltmore. This is I don't know, something about this hat has come around to being my all-time favorite hats of all hats I've ever owned. And as you can see with the stains all over it, I like a dirty hat. I want my hat to show the vicissitudes of its history. So I don't store them very well. I keep a lot of hats here on hat stands, so I'll take a piece of steel and put a plywood round at the end of it, and the hat just sits on that. That's not the greatest way to store. But we're in a golden age of containment. I love this kind of plastic, right? Like the Container Store's whole business model is that kind of plastic. And you can get small boxes that are just big enough for your hats. My recommendation with storage is always store stuff so that you can still see it or label it really clearly. I have about 60 hats in storage, and every single one of those is in a box that's either 18 inches square or 24 inches square, depending on the size of the hat. And a picture of the hat in the box has been taken, printed, and pasted to the outside of the box. And, you know, sometimes the issue with storing stuff at home is how much room there is for everybody else's stuff at home. And that's like an ongoing project. You know, my wife and I have a closet that's both of ours, and it's big enough for most of our stuff. But then I've got a whole separate closet just for coats and my shoes. Seriously, I have a whole closet just for those. I have a jacket problem. I have a jacket issue. You think I have a hat issue. I also have a jacket issue. I have almost never met a jacket I didn't like. My favorite jacket story is I don't think the John Varvatos store is still down there off of Union Square, but like 6, 7, 8 years ago, I go into the John Varvatos store, and the guy says, "Are you looking for anything in particular?" And I said, "Nah, but anything but a jacket. I don't need any more jackets." And that guy sold me a jacket like 15 minutes later. I mean, I was clearly telegraphing that I was jacket soft. I was ready to be sold a jacket. Yeah, look, those containers are excellent for hats. They keep out moisture. They're better than cardboard. I would recommend plastic containment. I hope that helps. I could use more information to this question. But the second question comes from Out of Space GVL, saying, watching your NASA hat age in real time has been great. And they are referring to this lovely piece of equipment. But where did you get your new one? And has the old one been put out to pasture? Well, look, the old I picked this up on Amazon, I think. Literally, I was just searching for red NASA cap, and look, I'm aware that buying and wearing a red baseball cap has connotations. So I was like really specific about the color I wanted. Yeah, there's a lot of blue in this red. Yeah, there's a lot of blue in this red. Oh, so the reason that this exists at all, and I've washed this hat 3 times in the washing machine. over its lifespan. And the most recent one was about 3 or 4 years ago, and it resuscitated it a bit. But like at this point, the whole bill is exposed. It's starting to wear through up here. It's got a spectacular amount of weathering. And I bought this hat because of the trailer for Tomorrowland. Remember how hopeful we were? I love so much about Tomorrowland. There are so many things I love about the movie Tomorrowland. To rejuice your memory. Rejuice? To refresh your memory. Tomorrowland is a Brad Bird film starring George Clooney and Hugh Laurie, and specifically a young Britt Robertson, who's a fantastic protagonist and really just a wonderfully compelling character. And she is a young woman who wears this hat. And I was like, I love that hat. I want to find one of those hats. And I did a search for Tomorrowland hat, and I think I just bought one of the first things I saw. And then I wore this for, how long has it been since Tomorrowland came out? Like 15, 20 years. Has it been put out to pasture? Not entirely. I still might drag it out for an appearance down at NASA Ames or something like that. It's never going away. I mean, put out to pasture just means it gets a place of emeritus. It gets a place of pride somewhere. This one is great. It's already got a little bit of dirt on it, and it's getting some sweat stains, which is great. Brand new hats are awful. Brand new hats just look terrible. Even in film, when you buy a brand new piece of clothing, they hit it with some sandpaper just to kind of soften it up and make it feel a little bit more worn. One of the unique features of this hat is they've included this NASA logo on the inside, on the piping, or whatever you call this, the basting, for the sections of the top of the hat here, which I thought was a nice, again, this isn't like some name brand hat. It's made in China, and I picked it up off of Amazon, I believe. But it is a fine color of red. And I actually wore this. Wait a second, here you go. Here's my Forrest Gump. This was one of the ways that I made it around San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. And do you know how I got recognized in this at San Diego Comic-Con? I laughed. I'm like walking down the middle of the floor. No one is looking at me. I mean, because let's face it, like this beard and this hat says, "Don't talk to me." And I'm walking down the hall, and then I'm talking to a friend of mine, and they said something, and I laughed, and I watched like 2 people turn around and be like, "There he is!" Yes. Oh, I love that beard so much. So, you know, I grew up with this whole idea about beards on hooks that you put over your ears. And then I've never been able to find a real one in the world, so I made one.
Thank you for watching that video. Are you as sick of the tosses to membership as I am? Good, because here's a brand new one that I recorded today, and it's nice and short. There are 3 tiers to Tested membership, and they all offer awesome stuff. Find out about it by clicking the join link below. We'll see you there.